Today we're going to design an adventuring party starting with our wizard. Hello, and welcome to the channel. My name's Patrick. I'm an artist. I like to draw fun things on the internet, and I thought for a mega project we could make an adventuring party, designing characters for this adventuring party, and having lots of fun. To start with, we started with a wizard character. Now, we wanted a bunch of different things to be true for this character, and to figure out who this character would be, I went to my chat during the live stream and asked them some old questions. We came up with a cool list. A book nerd, which is kind of true of all wizards. Maybe old, obsessed with eyes came up. And then we sort of went down this path of like maybe they do magic through eyes. So we got like third eye seer maybe. Necklaces with eyes on them, blind. And then I thought they might be lanky and robed. But let's see what became of it. So we took these ideas and we went over to the old Google Photos and started looking up pictures of wizards, trying to get some references, some ideas, some things to help build out this character in terms of the look that we wanted to sort of generate. Of course, we use these reference images not as a one-to-one or to trace or anything like that, but we use them as a means of inspiring us. We saw big collars, we saw interesting takes on wizard hats and beards and things, and so all of this helps to fill the mind with ideas so that we could get to the sketching phase. Now in the sketching phase, we wanted to try to sketch 3 different versions of this character, and so you can see me getting started here with a basic pose of what we want them to look like, and trying to build out some ideas. So we started here with a cape and a big collar, having ourselves a great time here. Yeah, this part of the process is all about trying to be free and loose with ideas, trying to build out what could be for this character. None of it's meant to be serious or taken as the final image. It's just something that we're working on to get ideas. And so you can see me here trying to get a sense of what this wizard might be. So we put on this like blindfold and gave them a third eye as their primary eye. Gave them this little like tuft of whipped cream as hair, and just sort of, you know, tried to work out some ideas. This is really what the stage is all about, right? We're trying to just experiment with ideas and see what we get down on paper, see what we like, see what we don't like. And it's a really vital step in trying to create something because it allows you to try things without having to commit to them, you know? And so the different versions we end up with here are really great and fun, and each one of them could be their own wizard, I'm sure. But in the end, it really helped us to refine our ideas, as you'll see. For the second one, we went with the long beardy look and more of an elf kind of vibe with, you know, fashionable hair, knotted up beard, not knotted, braided beard. And I think we were trying to go less of a cape, more of a cloak or robes, a more traditional wizard in that sense. And you can see we're just sort of building that all out here as we go. What kind of D&D character do you like to be when you play a game like this? I often like to be a wizard, which is why we started with wizard. It is one of my favorites, and I really like the fun you can have playing as a wizard. Of course, there's lots of magic users in D&D, so you can do all sorts of stuff. You can see here, I was trying to draw a like bag of eyes. Like a bag of holding, but with just eyes in it. And I don't know if it worked out. Finally, someone suggested that we try to do a big short and wide version of a wizard, and I said, sure, why not? Let's give it a try. And so you can see me just trying to round in some of these shapes. I blend them up a bit with the old liquefy tool just to give us a foundation. Obviously, if this is what we end up going with, we're going to want to, you know, work a little bit harder on that core shape, but it's enough to get us started. And you can see here we're just trying to build up maybe a big collar with some layers, maybe a big medallion or something, big old belt, and doing some of that magic eye. Magic eye, oh my goodness. Do you remember magic eyes? They were a really fun thing to do when I was a kid. Let's check out what our sketches ultimately look like. And so yeah, with those 3 sketches together, we decided we wanted to go with a wide boy and do something similar to the one at the bottom. And so you can see me here redesigning our basic pose because obviously once we decided to change from a lanky character, we really needed to redo this pose. And you can see me trying to work that out in this new form. Of course, your classic wizard character, you know, needs to have some level of magic being used. In my head, this pose that we're going to end up with our adventuring party, which we're going to continue after this video, this pose is going to be them maybe active, just about to like attack someone or cast a spell or something. And so I wanted to have this sort of in the middle of doing magic kind of vibe. We get started here on some of the shapes surrounding both the head and the cloak. The hat. Hats are so hard to draw. Like big hats like this, where there's just like this unending empty space. You'll see me erase this time and time again, trying to get the sketch in right. This sketch, of course, we are trying to refine what we originally drew. So we're taking aspects from all the different wizards we drew, not just the bottom one, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work. And you can see me here just drawing and redrawing this hat. It takes me quite a while. I end up pulling up references and just trying to see how hats like this fit on people's heads. Like, you know, the one Gandalf wears in the Lord of the Rings movies. It looks like it fits his head. This one looks like it's floating somewhere in oblivion. So I'm just trying my best to figure these angles out. And I left this in here because, you know, sometimes it's easy to look at somebody who draws really nice things and really complete images and think, oh man, I wish I could do that. The truth is you can. It just takes a lot of work and practice and trial and error and everything in between. And as you can see, it doesn't always come naturally. I think we might have a hat that we're happy with. Nope, we're erasing it. Never mind. Alright, I think maybe we're getting closer to a good hat. I know the hat lands sometime soon. Ugh, hats. There we go. Alright, so we move on. We got our robe in here. Start putting on this big old belt, which I really like. It's you know, a nice staple of this character's size and shape to have this sort of massive belt around them that really emphasizes their rotundness. This hand is also a struggle point. I think I draw this hand maybe 6 or 7 or 8 times in the final version. It is not easy to get down, but it is super fun to do. And so yeah, we're just building out this belt, trying to get some layers here. Again, because this is still a sketch, even though it is our final sketch, we don't care so much about perfection. We want to still keep things loose, still kind of evoke ideas, let my brain flow around what I've got. And you can see here, we're basically ready to transition into our final inked version. Let's check out what our sketch looked like just before we do that. And now with our inks, you can see here, we're just going in, trying our best to evoke some of the shapes that we originally drew. Often when I'm sketching, it's a really messy process. And then when I come in to do my refined lines, it is a lot more experiments within the confines of what I created. I don't feel like it's good to be locked in entirely when you're doing your line art, especially because we start doing things like line weight and other sort of inking tactics, and it changes some of the perceptions of what we're doing. It's not as messy, and so it does need a little bit of refining just to work within the form that we've created for it. And you can see me here layering on that hat, which I apparently make even smaller than it was, which is perfectly fine. And yeah, I think it works out pretty well. So this project, by the way, I'm working on it on my live streams on Thursdays over on Twitch. That's Art by Sutherland on Twitch. And yeah, I do that at about 11:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And basically each stream we're drawing one person. So we've drawn this wizard. We've also drawn another one, which will be the next episode. You don't want to miss it. It is a Kenku druid, and I think it turns out really fun. But I'm still looking for ideas for more characters for our adventuring party. So if you have ideas for our adventuring party, please drop them into the comments. We would love to see your ideas and hopefully incorporate them into a few more members of the party. I think the party is going to max out at 5. So this is the first one. We've got one that we've already finished, and we got 3 more to do. Math is hard. Yeah, if you want to be a part of that, feel free to contribute to the chat or join us during the live stream and really throw some ideas out there. Here we are working on this hand. I was hoping I would talk all the way through it as I just mangle it over and over again. I did not, but yeah, we eventually get somewhere that I feel okay with, and that's nice. Hands are just the worst, right? Let's just all agree. Hands suck. So you can see me here just shifting this one around, trying to make things work. Not really sure. I think this is close to where I decide to finish. It's imperfect, but you know what? Sometimes you just got to move on. You got to throw your hands up and let your hands live as they are. Doing this belt, I didn't really have a good idea of what the style for this belt would be, but I did want to get these sort of chunkier, blockier shapes in the belt to sort of make it more ornate than just, say, like a piece of cloth that's been folded. Just to add some extra color and style to the look that he ultimately ends up with. Here we're doing some fabric layering just to get our cloak to sit in an interesting way. It's always a challenging thing when you're doing fabric to decide how much detail you put into the various and sundry folds, right? Because fabric can fold deeply, intricately, but sometimes that becomes a distraction unto itself, right? It loses something of the final effect when you overly complicate it. It's distracting and it loses sight of itself. See me here realizing I missed some of my lines, getting in some details, and I think we're just about at the end of our lovely wizard character here. And so with that, I'm going to present to you our character. Our wizard is Epsilon of Sight. And they're looking happy and healthy here. Thank you so much for joining me today. This has been the first of many of our characters in our adventuring party. Like I said, I'm working on this every week over on my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/artbysutherland. Do it around 11:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Feel free to join me over your lunch break or whenever. We're just hanging out and having fun. If you have ideas, throw them down in the comments below for upcoming party members. We have a wizard and a druid, which is going to come out next week. But we need more adventures to make this party work. So if you have any ideas, throw them down in the comments below. We'll always love to hear your thoughts. For now, that's going to be everything here on the channel. If you enjoyed this video, of course, do the YouTube things and like and subscribe and all that jazz. But mainly, I want to say thank you so much for being here. It's an absolute pleasure to hang out with you. I hope you enjoyed making this art together. If you're drawing some characters for a D&D adventure, I'd love to see your attempts. And yeah, till next time, keep being awesome. Bye!